So don't get me wrong there. If people want to follow that, sure. I don't agree, but sure. I should do this one. The same thing with having the two different ways. I mean, there's probably more, but two main different ways of spelling the F sound. Because people argue, well, this is based on where the word originates from. Yeah, but why would you need that? Like, what purpose does that fill in like everyday usage? It's a neat etymological. How would you say that word? Etymological. There we go. That's best I go. Thing, I guess, to have, but it just makes spelling and reading a bit annoying. In Swedish, every F sound is spelled with the F letter. Is it photo? You spell it with an F. Is it philosophy? You spell it with an F. Because it's an F sound. And yeah, it's... And if you're not sure about the spelling, it shouldn't be, does it have a Greek origin even though Greek has a F letter? And I know in the past, I know where the PH comes from, because in the past in Greek, it was a P sound with an aspirated P sound. Aspirated P sound, that sounds, don't take that out of context. Well, it doesn't, you can't make a quote out of... Anyway. So it was P. So it was, what do you say? Equivalent of saying photo. But this has shifted to an F sound. So it's photo. So this letter that is used in Greek, if you know it. Do I know it? Where's my drawing tablet? Oh, the drawing tablet is cold. Oh, the drawing tablet is not even connected. It's because I'm wearing my outfit that I posted on my server, which the outfit doesn't cover my legs. So I'm putting the drawing tablet on my legs. Oh, finally connected. So now I can draw the letter. Yeah, I think it looks like that. It's used in Greek and Cyrillic scripts. And modern day, it's just converted to an F. So, so when you look up like, what does photo come from? Well, it comes from photograph, which is a combination of photo and graph. Which comes from a Greek word. Oh yeah, this is perfect spelling. So it comes from the Greek word photo. And if you want to Latinize this, there will be photo, which is actually how you spell it in Swedish. Photo. And how you would spell it in English if you just use the F. And enough of this. Enough of fun ranting about the English spelling. Ooh. You need to find a... Ooh. Oh. Also have like... Both. Anyway, this was funny. This was educational, I hope. Time splitters, future perfect. There's a reason I did not go into an English heavy degree, fair enough. Maybe I should go into Swedish. Swedish spelling isn't perfect. Swedish has a tendency to misuse a letter. And the letter in question is this letter. Misuse as in not using it, actually misuses of this letter. Because in Swedish, this letter makes an O sound. Like in the northern British dialects that says stone and boat. Actually, the Swedish word for boat is båt, which is pronounced very similar to the northern British dialect. Boat. And this letter makes an oo sound, which is pronounced o in European languages. the letter that European languages typically pronounce as oo is this letter. But this letter in Swedish is pronounced u, which in some European languages does have that sound or a similar sound, which they spell this way, which is kind of like a smiley, which Swedish doesn't have. Or they might pronounce it more like y, which Swedish is using this letter for. There you go. O, U, U, I. There you go. Now that's the Swedish lesson for today. But the problem, the misuse I talked about is that Swedish uses this letter for O, which is not what it makes an O. So now it has two sounds. Well, that's ignoring that every Swedish vowel has already two sounds, because you have the short sound and long sound. So now that letter has 4 sounds. So you got a word like ost, but then you got a word like os, which is the wrong sound. It's supposed to be, it should be spelled os. Whatever. If I had power to change Swedish spelling, that would be one of the things I would change. But it doesn't matter. The spelling inconsistencies in Swedish are minor compared to some other languages. So I should in Soviet Russia, skateboard skate you. Quote, yes, sex. Which I said in Jack and Dexter. There we go, that's the Cyrillic F, I would assume. But yeah, because you wrote and board. So, what? Why do you think of that quote? Okay, Swedish spelling is mostly consistent, but someone looking at Swedish might think, no, that's not. Like you have this word, which is pronounced skat. And then you have this word, which is pronounced sked. Now you might argue, well, this is pronounced sk, this is pronounced ch. But that's purely based on the vowel. It's a front-back vowel system, just like in Spanish, where you got, I don't know, a Spanish word. Yeah, you got gato, and you got, how do you spell it? Like that? Mágico? That's probably not correct. My focus is this part, and he. The he and ga. They change it, and the same works in Swedish. So skin, that means skin, by the way. And scope. So it's still consistent. Yep, that's so yeah, it's not perfect, but it's consistent, more consistent, not too inconsistent. But yeah, still some things I could be improved, and I'm here to improve it. Okay, it does leak out somewhere. Frontmanol is leaking. And it does leak into this is, oh, doesn't even connect here. I've been lazy. Scat. That's something different. Yeah, don't confuse scat and scat. Scat is Swedish for treasure and, oh yeah, here's where it leaks out, and tax. Which does make sense, because even in English you would use the word treasury, like for the government money or something. So, similarly, I assume this is going to be. Boop, boop. I think this should be the bow. You think he's the underdog? Fun is leaking. Well, you should plug the hole. There's too many holes to plug. That's not helping. And this is... I'm not great at artists. This is Green Day. I guess I did draw the face on a different layer, apparently. It's okay. I just have to manually do that. Thinking. Funny, why are you so naughty? I don't know. It just... Chat just brings that out of me. More things that are leaking. Because I want to complete the 2 final drawings of this skateboarding. And also had a commission. I don't even remember if the person paid. If the person paid, oops. If the person didn't pay, well, fair enough. But because the person didn't contact me, I should, like... Because I've done so much now. So I kind of forgot about this. And also have a art trade with someone. We're going to draw each other's characters doing cheerleading. There was something else I was thinking of. I guess I can remove the pin now. I wonder if that... Oop. I wonder if anyone, if I actually managed to get anyone to get the game. I'm not getting any royalties, or whatever you call that. It's probably a different word. Though. But I got the game. And if it's your type of game, well, I hope you enjoy it. I wouldn't say it's my type of game, but it's not a bad game. Effort, love and care has been put into it. And it has bunnies. I can cross another game on the list of bunny games I played. So yeah. So I don't feel like playing the game anymore. And I don't mean just today, I mean forever. So if any of you are curious of any more content in the game, well, I guess you have to figure that out, don't you? That's my pitch for the game. But as I said, it wasn't my type of game. But I'm happy to have played it. As I said, I do like to be honest. I have no intention of lying. Hello, butcher girl. Don't forget about the read me of fruit. What did you get, Papa Canis? A coconut, yes. Coconut. Going nuts for coconuts. Now, on the top side of the skateboard, there should be like grip tape, right? I don't know what I'm wiggling the selection like that. What is this? Nothing. Why do I have this then? Why do I have this then? And I tried something new with shading. I'm not fully happy with the results, but it looks kinda neat. But I know what to go for. I will still use the same shading for all 4 pictures. I don't want to have different shading between the pictures. That would be weird. There we go. That's your daily fruit. A pineapple. And ananas, as most people call it. And therefore, in English, you can call it ananas. And not ananas. Someone said like, you're close to banana. Yeah, if you pronounce it ananas, bananas. No, it should be an ananas. And then you can say ass without getting. It's like you're trying to say ass but stuttering. Oh, pun. What's it shading here? There. It's from one of the languages in America. Don't remember which it is. I think it was imported from somewhere in Texas. No, I could be wrong about that. Don't remember enough to say. So yeah, so this side will have like grip tape of some sort. Should give the eyes some color. Doing that, some white. And Pulver's pupils are dark pink. Because pink is not light red. Well, anyway. I think I should... No, it's that ad break. At the ad break, I had to check the laundry. It should be done before the ad break, but, you know. The ad break is when the ad break is. And at least I'm sure it's done by then. And then I will dry it. In my room today. Woo! It's not done though. Does it feel like Ponpon is missing something? Does Ponpon's head feel empty? Guess it's because the ears aren't there. And then this thing, actually just move it over. And fix its color. Boom, done. I think that's all the coloring. Now, let's look up the word proper skateboard. I guess actually didn't help me. They do have like this grip thing across the whole front. And I guess you could argue that Ponpon has that, but pink. Well, I guess it's not too important. Bounce. You like the music? Heavy music. Fun. I didn't think you would listen to this kind of music. What I could do is doing like way too big. Definitely a genre I like. That's good. I'm glad I can provide that. This is my attempt of making the surface. Maybe I just did that. Yeah, I don't know if these make sense, but did it anyway. But it should not be on the edge, it should only be on the front. There. Still feel like it should be even more. Guys, in 5 minutes, kids, and I can check. This is a dog song. Yeah, that was fine. Then it's... And I did this one on karaoke too. Karaoke 2, as in the second one I did. It was fun doing the karaoke. Really getting out of my comfort zone there. Bit on the inside, there we go. But make it slightly transparent so you can see what's behind. Otherwise I will just end up with a huge block of spread without being able to see the overall shape. Which, of course, is not very helpful. Well, at least the song is like, it is about domesticated dog, so that's Kenny's kind of. Kenny's is of course a much wider term, but should be this way. I think I want to do it like this. Concentrating on drawing. Like that. And now we get to also hear how the song is supposed to sound like. I don't know, should I just this completely shaded? Maybe only table shaded. Okay, 10 seconds stats. So I will check the laundry. Hello Wiki, hello. Just in time for ads. Back in just 3 minutes. I'm now back. And there's some bunny army here. Did someone write something though? Maybe he can write something. Nope. But he got a banana. Isn't that bananas? Okay, let's go back to art page. Welcome back, Pon. Hello, Janerto. I see you're all about this. Welcome. That's what you like. I know what to get you in for Christmas. I mean, hello. On 8 that fast 3 minutes. No, it's just 1.5 minutes still left over for the ads. It's just art. I can draw during the ads. Usually have time for 100 to 120. A lot of bunnies. But yeah, it's just a different thing I do for art. Okay, then let's reach 100. Okay. 100 little bunnies. Jumping for joy. No, they're holding swords. Good thing you changed the swords early on, so it went like halfway in, like, damn, I should use swords. So he's not having a bunny since there are 35 per message. And now the ads are over. Oh, swimsuit. Ooh, do you like that design? I mean, I assume you redeem an outfit you like to look up. I mean, I guess you have to redeem it to see what it actually looks like. Pon. But let me know what you think of the design. Did I do it well? Do I get the Gianesto seal of approval? Should be at 11,375 total. Well, it looks like you've been keeping track. I will check after every stream. I mean, of course, because you're the one posting them, so you will know how many you posted. I'm not going to count them. I rely on the system. Do you post any sword bunnies on any other stream? Because that also counts towards your total. Obviously not spamming like that, obviously not, but you know, just a few extra one. I guess this whole scene would actually be shaded because it's away and below. And the fingers should be shaded too. I just don't know where. How and where. Got so many future plans though. Also, or something. Like a Return Fire multiplayer. Because I played a lot of Return Fire at the end of 2023. And now we're at the end of 2024. I did play a lot of Return Fire. It was a fun game. Okay. And this should be the Swedish World Cup song. Well, I mean, someone specifically the artist made the song. I don't know if it has any official approval. However, it's not very nationalistic. The only thing is that this song is in Swedish. Doesn't mention anything other than that. So you could actually use it for any country. I guess you could use it for Finland, where Swedish is the unofficial language. And I will put this one. Hello, Ingriel Eliomure. I like to read full names. Don't worry about that. Ingriel. I assume your short name would be. Hi, Pon. Roses are red. You walk to the counter. Welcome to Burger King. May I take your order? Wait, that didn't even rhyme. Sorry, please redo it. Wait, counter order? That doesn't sound like a count rhyme. Counter order. I guess that was that's a close. How does it rhyme? Counter order. Because in English, it's you take the part where you put the emphasis. Like, an example was pickle and identical don't rhyme unless you change the pronunciation to identical. So tickle and pickle rhyme, and identical. So counter and order. I need to check that out. I mean, it could just be how I say it. In your accent, it might actually rhyme. Counter order. No, Wiktionary claims they do not rhyme. Counter rhymes with mounter, discounter, encounter, recounter, re-encounter. A lot of counter. While order rhymes with border, hoarder, order, reorder, disorder, recorder, reorder. And factitious disorder. Oh wait, this is disorder that rhymes with. And there we go. I wasn't crazy for once. But thank you for trying. I do appreciate that. It doesn't but you don't say canter and odeur. If you do, those words rhyme. Okay, roses are red. You walk to the canter. Welcome to Burger King. May I take your odeur? There we go. Now it rhymes. What is it? If that's how you say it, it rhymes. You can't just look at the spelling, you know. The pronunciation error. Okay. Yeah. Are you referring to syllables used? No. I'm just referring to the pronunciation. The body doesn't need to have the same composition to rhyme. It has to. Counter and order does not rhyme. Canter and odeur do rhyme. Because you have to count from the point of stress. I'm not making up the rules, it's just how it is, I'm sorry. Don't be sad. I'm just destroying your beautiful poem. It was a nice attempt. I'm just too picky. I'm sorry. Just who I am. But you're funny. It was a funny one, I'll admit that. Oh, I didn't finish this line here. Now I need to... Let's see, Burger King. I haven't been at the Burger King in a long while. Wouldn't mind visiting one. I just don't want to spend money on it. Give me... Chat, send me money. I usually don't refer to you as chat. I only do it when I'm not serious. Chat, send me money and I'll go to Burger King. I'll take a photo of the order I make as well. He was supposed to tell me what to put on a pizza, and so I can go to the pizza place and make that pizza. That was part of the subathon. I never fulfilled that part, and people never asked me to do it either, so kinda slipped my mind. I'm sure if people are interested in it even. I mean, if you are interested in it, I'll do it, but... because it was a promise. And I should keep my promises. I just have to go and check what they have as options. And the voting process would simply be... we choose how many toppings I'll have. And then you just vote for every topping you want me to have. Maybe we should do like a plus-minus kind of voting deal. As in... you vote +1 on every ingredient you want. You can vote on more than 4. And you vote -1 on the ingredients you don't want me to get. And then whichever gets the highest score in the end. The 4 of them that gets the highest score is the 4 I will pick. But I need a web service that actually supports that kind of voting style. But I think that kind of voting is an efficient way of voting. Well, actually, I could make that into... but I wouldn't be able to verify the people are cheating, though. Lol, borrowing the Xbox sales. Bunny Park is on sale down to 3 from 15. Browsing the Xbox sales. What's Bunny Park? Xbox Bunny Park. So Edesco Bunny Park. I think I've seen this one. Yeah, someone suggested this for me, but I don't have an Xbox. Wait, is this... this is like a managing game, right? Not sure if it's my style of game. But not played as... no, it's... is it really not on Steam? It's on other consoles too. But yeah, it's on sale on Xbox, but it's also on PlayStation and Switch. Bunny Park. No, it's on Switch too. For some reason I didn't list that on the official website, really? Sodesco.com/game/bunnypark. Switch Play. Oh, it's on Google Play as well. Epic Game Store. It's on Steam too, but they don't list Steam as an option. Well, it's been published by Cozy Bean Games, not Sodesco. Sodesco. Anyway. But there's a collection though for... I mean, it's... wait, you said 3 USD. It currently on Bunny Park on Steam costs €5. What's that in USD? It's 4.99 euro to USD. 5 for 18. So I mean, it's more expensive than it's on sale, but 15? Why is it so expensive? You get it for like a third price, normal price on Steam. And then you can get it for 10 off for that specific game if you also get the other 2 games at the same time, which is Lemon Cake and Capybara Spa. But those games are more expensive. But if you get all the 3 at the same time, you get 10% off. It's not really my... I mean, the game isn't ugly, but I feel like it's a bit too polygonal. Like, I feel like the game is using a bit of a low poly style, but actually not really committing to the low polyness of it. I feel like it doesn't look ugly, but it's a bit weird to me. Because I did play Lunasis. It has a low poly style, but it's committed to it and actually worked with it. Upon the game critic. It doesn't really change anything on the gameplay, but I would say that gameplay wise probably not a game for me, so. Bonjour, hello, artificial anime universe. Which probably asked this last time, which anime universe is not artificial? Generic management game with bunnies. Failure management game with bunnies. What? Have you tried it? Did you not like it? Is it bad? If the game trailer has a Google Play Games log on it, I ignore it. Do you ignore Bunny Park then? This is good. I have that. Yeah, I 100%ed that game, but it's going to get an update. And I'm going to play the game after gets the update released. Whenever that is. The pre-release was released early December, I think. So I guess it's anytime. Welcome in, Raiders! I hope the music is not too loud. It's kind of loud in my ears. Nah, it's fine. Welcome, welcome, Sailor Luna. Oh, funny, we talked about Lunasis. You play Undertale. What is Undertale Yellow? It's almost first thought is it a combination of Undertale and Pokemon Yellow? I played Undertale on my own, but I've never played it on Stream, and I should probably do that. Have you heard of Corn Kid 64? No. I've heard about corn, which is a term people typically use for maize, even though it has been a term that is just any type of... What's the English word for sädeslag? So therefore some people are getting confused when corn is not used for maize. But anyway, but no, I heard about Kids and 64. Elegant Trace. Fan-made game of the fifth human soul. What's that? You have to tell me more, because I don't know what that is. And I'm struggling with final boss Saitan. Fine, that's fair enough. For now. Yeah, the boss is not bested you yet. You're getting back. You just need a bit of a rest. And I hope you defeat the boss next time. Because that boss should not be... I'm trying to think of bosses I've failed at and given up on a game. I don't think... Have I ever failed a boss and... I mean, obviously I haven't played that game. There have been games I've given up on, but I'm just thinking specifically a boss I've been... I guess you could argue that Spyro Season of Ice, which is a game I should play again, has the Speedway boss. But it's not really a boss, it's more like a mini-boss. Which is a boss, mini-boss, I'm not defeated the proper way. I've used save states to defeat the boss. That game is brutal on that level. Everything in game has been fine up until that. It's my nemesis. If someone talks about like, yeah, but Pokemon, but yeah, but Spyro Fusion or Spyro Orange It's a terrible game. I mean, yeah, it's like not amazing, but have we tried? At least I've completed that game to 100%. Not Season of Ice. And that's why I have to go back to the game to defeat it for once and for all. It's a 3D platform in the style of those rare N64 platformers you may enjoy. I do like 3D platformers, I might enjoy it. Oh, so it's not an actual N64 game. I wasn't a fan of N64 graphics. I didn't grow up with that console. It's a bit like I don't know. I will play some, like I want to play Smash Bros, for example. I don't know what it is. I mean, PlayStation, for some reason I want to remember that Nintendo 64 had better performance than a PlayStation. But PlayStation's benefit was it used CD. Compact disc. With a much higher storage capacity, which is what it's won out on. Because pure performance of the console has not been a thing as a winning reason for why it's better. And for each generation, I'm not sure if the most highest performance has been the most sold console. Since Wii was very highly sold, and that was not powerful. I don't know, it's probably just the games I've seen on it. For some reason I want to remember it being more powerful, but at the same time graphically worse than PlayStation. No, I feel like games can pull more performance than 64, but then they're I think that's the thing. It has high capabilities, but the developers did not know to actually use it properly. If I remember the details correctly, like one of its drawbacks was that it was a 64-bit console. So when you compile games as such, it tried to compile it in 64. And if you wanted more performance, you had to compile everything and make sure that it only runs 32-bit functions. If you try to run a 64-bit function, it will crash. Well, or something like that. But the problem is that the compiler tries to always do 64-bit functions. Even if you try to force it to do 32, it still will do 64. So you have to run it in 64-bit mode. Unless you want to do all that extra work to really ensure it only runs 32-bit. And that's... yeah, it's been one of the drawbacks, if I understand it correctly. And also developers not doing graphics correctly. And developers nowadays know how to actually take full advantage of it and can do really good graphics on it. A bit too late though, but... Let's see. Taurus Demon, Dark Souls 1 made me rage... Oh, Taurus Demon from Dark Souls 1 made me rage quit for a couple of months. Carpa Demon, is that actually? I grew up with a PlayStation 1, yeah, me too. Not many games on PlayStation 1 though. And Nintendo Ultra 64, and then the Jaguar with 128. Did the Jaguar had PlayStation 2 had a 128-bit processor. Which again, a console with high performance that wasn't properly... it wasn't most sold at least. But it couldn't, like, developers didn't properly utilize it or something. I think there are games on PlayStation 2 that actually renders in, like, HD resolution. But you couldn't really utilize that because screens didn't... I mean, unless you plugged in computer screens, which at high resolutions. Plus, what will you do that considering most games didn't even render that resolution? And PlayStation 2 also introduced pressure-sensitive buttons, which PlayStation 3 also had, and DS or DSi or something like that. There's actually surprisingly several controllers that have pressure-sensitive buttons, but it's barely used in any games. The only games that is used in most of the time is racing games, where the harder you press, the more you accelerate, which means you have to press it hard constantly. If you don't do button controls, like, well, on PlayStation 1, you just press down the button and you get full acceleration just through that. So it's terrible use of it. So I can understand that it was not included in Xbox at all and dropped for PlayStation 4. While it's an interesting idea to have, it's hard to utilize in a good way. And especially if you want like accurate inputs. Instead of having the option to press hard and soft on a button to get two different inputs, it's much better to just have two different buttons. And this is why, oh never mind, Jaguar was 64 without 64-bit instructions. Amazing. So it was fake 64? But yeah, because I could be wrong, but that's what I understood about Nintendo 64. Most ran it just in 32-bit, but it was kind of still running 64-bit because it was insisting on going 64, and that caused a bunch of issues. And that was one of the main issues with the console, was its insistence on being 64-bit. But as I said, I didn't grow up with the console, but that doesn't matter because it's not about growing up with the console, it's actually about knowing the technicalities behind it. I could still be wrong too, because I'm not done deep research into it. Similarly with the PlayStation 2, I'm not sure if the 32-bit, no, 128-bit was utilized any. I swear pressure-sensitive buttons are a placebo. I could never tell if it was working or not. I know it is a thing because I'm using a PlayStation 3 controller currently. It has pressure-sensitive buttons. I'm using a system that converts the PlayStation 3 inputs into Xbox inputs. So every game thinks I'm using an Xbox controller because that ensures that it works properly with as many games as possible. Because if I don't trick it into thinking it's an Xbox controller, it must specifically look for a PlayStation controller for it to work. And it's not many games that do that. Games that do that, sure, it's fine. But considering it's always being raised as an Xbox controller, I don't actually know which game it actually works with. But Xbox does not have pressure-sensitive buttons, therefore it does not utilize the pressure sensitiveness. However, I can set it to just run it in PlayStation 3 mode, which will use pressure-sensitive buttons. The problem here is that Windows does not support, because each pressure-sensitive button is an axis. And the standard Windows game controller input system does not support that many axes on one controller. So, and actually quite a thing that's too outdated on Windows. So therefore it pretends to be two controllers, because that's the only way they could make that work. But I could see that it actually is working because I can press the button and it works. When I play a I do have another software. If it's not a Steam game, I do have a software that will convert a PlayStation, well, technically PlayStation 4, but it does raise your PlayStation 3 controllers into keyboard inputs. I don't know if it actually handles. No, because it's made for PlayStation 4, it ignores pressure sensitivity as well. But I wouldn't use it because it's a bad system. It would just hurt my fingers if I tried to press harder for it to raise there. Joy to Key, I can check what it's called. I use it specifically for the mobile Java ME emulator. It's wait, what is it called now? That's this one. No, it's called DS4 Windows. Well, depends on what you're looking for. DS4 Windows is the software I use to convert PlayStation controller into keyboard inputs. DSHMC, which stands for something. This stands for DualShock Human Input Device. Mini Control. There we go, that's the full name. DSHMC stands for DualShock HID Mini Control. And HID stands for something. I think it's like human. HID device. Human interface device, that's what it stands for. And that's one I'm using for to making the PlayStation controller act like a Xbox controller. I use an Xbox One controller. I figure Microsoft products should talk to Microsoft products. Yeah, it does. In my experience using different controller, the Xbox One and Xbox 360 controllers have worked really well. You basically plug it in and it just works. If you have an older Windows version, it has to install the drivers. But if you have a later, more modern version of Windows, like Windows 8 or later or something like that, it should just work out of the box. Human interface device, yep. Xbone. Yeah. Quote. That doesn't make sense to me. Oh wait, it does make sense to me. That's the first quote. Or oldest quote, because I have sorted them chronologically. My hands fit the size of an Xbox controller better than a PlayStation controller as well. The thing is, I've not used PlayStation 4 controller. That's for the first time I actually changed design. The PlayStation controller is a terrible design, I think. It's not like it has hard edges and stuff. Like it's not meant for a human to hold into. The Xbox 360 is the one I've used the most, and it's comfortable. And I think the Xbox One controller is nice too. The problem with I have an Xbox One controller. The problem is, and I've said that I was going to take it to my brother, but I have not found the controller. The problem is that the port for the USB is not working. It broke, so I guess that shows the quality of that one. I guess it's human error. It's no warranty on that, but and for some reason the batteries are not working, so I can't even use it wirelessly. That should not be a human error though, but also so long ago I got it, so and it was working perfectly fine. So I never knew the issue with the wireless because I used the wired all the time. Which is a shame, because it's aside from that issue, which I guess would be an issue with controller. I did like the controller. It was nice to use. But oh well, it is what it is. Have I shaded everything I wanted? I guess so. So we'll use blur like that, and this one is 15 and this one is 5. That's the shading I'm used. Controversial opinion. I do. I share. Oh, I'm a maid. I share my. I've been made for 4 minutes. I haven't realized. Oh damn, my controller is only wired. I don't trust wireless on anything that needs constant connection. That is fair. I've not had problem using wireless controllers. I can understand, like, Nintendo is using Bluetooth, and whatever Nintendo has chosen is just... Connor-chan, welcome! Thank you so much for raiding in. I was in the middle of talking about controllers. You played Ghost of Tsushima. How was that? How did that go? Boing, boing, bunny raid. Bunny raiding into bunny. I hope we had a good day today. Did you succeed? I don't know what Ghost. I mean, I've seen the name before, but I don't remember what it is. It's like, for some reason, I wanted, like, did you make progress? I hope everything went well today as well. I have had nothing but nightmares with Bluetooth. Welcome, Raiders. Yeah, we're talking about that. Hey, sorry to raid and run, but I gotta take care of some stuff on my own. That's fair, that's fair. Do take care of what you want. I really appreciate you stopping by and bringing your party with you. No worries, hope you get things resolved. Wish you the best. And also hello, Valaos. Don't know how to say that. Val. And if you need to go, I fully accept. I mean, everyone is free to go whenever they feel like it. But even is part of my work, so sweetness and joy. Also, it's getting warm again. So yeah. So a problem with Nintendo is that they're using Bluetooth, and the Bluetooth connectivity is not that great that they're using. They started with Wii. They used the Wii controllers on Wii U. The Wii U tablet is did not use Bluetooth. It used direct Wi-Fi, if I recall correctly, and that connection I had no issues with that. I don't remember having much issues with the Wiimotes. It's just the motion and pointing that wasn't that amazing, but that didn't have much to do with Bluetooth. Wait, yeah, right. It did have a bit of timing issues, I think, because you couldn't really play rhythm-based games with that. They tried to, but timing-wise, if I recall correctly, was terrible. But yeah, the ridiculous amount of hoops I had to jump through to get that Wiimote connected PC. I actually had made that work pretty simple, because all you do is you search you make the Wiimote search for a device, and on Windows you should have the Wiimote show up, and then you insert the password 000, and it should just connect. I've used Wiimotes and it just works. I'm surprised how how easy it was to connect it. Guitar Hero Wii had a calibration function for time. I mean, yeah, every rhythm game should have a calibration because there's so many variables that goes into it. But I think the delay of the Wiimote is varied. So even if you calibrate it doesn't matter, because it will all shift from what it should be calibrated to. I could be wrong though. To be fair, it might be incorrectly calibrated too, but it still felt like the timing was always shifting or something. It didn't feel like it was consistent timing error. Yeah, getting the ability to enter that password is buried in Windows. Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so I guess well, that's a different thing. The Wiimote part was easy. The Windows part might be different. I don't remember that being much of an issue, but they might have changed that. Okay, what should Pon stand on here while doing this trick? The half pipe? So I'll do like, whoop. Yeah, let's do that, and then we have like, I'm using the wrong pen again. And then we have like, and then I feel like, at least the place I looked at did have like, did have a fence. So you don't fall off the top. You can only fall off one of the 4 sides. And then we like plant a tree here. Looks like a good idea. I don't know what else would be here in the background. So maybe I'm gonna move this up. So I don't have to bother too much about the background. Place another tree there. There you go, that's the background. I connect it, then bound the motions to keyboard controls with joystick key to play Texas 1 as a joke. Did that go well? I mean, I would assume it didn't. But how well did it go? So PlayStation is also running Bluetooth, but PlayStation seems to run a different kind of Bluetooth from Nintendo, which seems to have, because it has low latency and stuff. But the problem with Bluetooth is that it's a whole package stuff, while Xbox runs direct Wi-Fi instead, which should be more efficient. But interestingly enough, so it should be more efficient, which you can see on the Xbox, because if you run it direct Wi-Fi, you get better latency compared to if you run it through Bluetooth, which it also has support for. But the interesting part is that PlayStation has a lower latency than Xbox. And I find that interesting, considering PlayStation is running Bluetooth. And it should be regular Bluetooth, because otherwise it wouldn't be Bluetooth. I'm not really sure why I focus on drawing that, considering it's covering up by Pompon. But what I find, and that's why, no, that doesn't make sense. And Bluetooth should be limited for devices only, and that's why PlayStation 4 and 5, I think 5, is limited for controller. But wait, PlayStation 3 had 3. When it comes to controller support in consoles, that's a whole topic in itself, and I find that interesting and weird. I only ever learned 2 things on a skateboard: make it go and make it turn. Wow, that's more than me. I can sit on it and roll down a hill, I guess. Never learned how to stop though. Rocks on the road help with that. I can't figure that. I could only control the board in half-pipe ramps, etc., but couldn't kickflip or anything more complicated. Gave up and went to trick rollerblading. At least those would stay on your feet, which is a benefit. Yeah, so the history with controller support on consoles, that's a whole topic itself, which I could talk about if that's interesting. So PlayStation, I'm not going to cover everything in one console at a time though. So, but as control, whatever. PlayStation 1 had support for out of the box support for 2 controllers, but with an adapter, I really can't get this line correct. In a way I am satisfied with. That's fine. But with an adapter, you could connect up to 8 controllers. PlayStation 2 followed this trend, by allowing you to connect up to 2 controller out of the box. No, yeah. Right, because PlayStation 2 had its controller specific port, right? So it had 2 controllers out of the box, and then you could use those adapters for up to 8 controllers. Same way. One adapter added 3 controllers, so you could have, with one adapter, allowed you to have 5 controllers. But you could not have more than 2 memory cards. I have a multi-tap, yeah, that's terrible. I don't. I have a PlayStation 3 though. PlayStation 3. It also has support for 8 input devices, as I'm using as a generic term here, because, if I'm not wrong, I don't think I'm wrong, they decided that, because PlayStation 3 was like the Bluetooth player, they decided that the controller port 8 is being reserved for the Bluetooth controller. Meaning that you can at max connect 7 controllers. And if you're playing in the PlayStation 1 or 2 games, where you can reconfigure which port you want your controller to be plugged into, you can only choose of the first 7 ports. You cannot use the 8th port on a PlayStation 3. They just removed that option. And I find that stupid. You can no longer play 8 players because you must have support for the Bluetooth controller, even though you're playing a game and wouldn't use the Bluetooth controller. But well, that's what they did. And also that you can't even choose the 8th port on the PlayStation 1 and 2 on the PlayStation 3. I find that they're really taking that far. But then on PlayStation 4, they lowered it to 4 controllers. I don't know why. Why not stick to 8? That was one of the great things about the PlayStation, because it was a console that supported the most controllers. Obviously, Windows and other computers supported more controllers, since you can get a USB hub, and I think, I could be wrong, but I think it's something like 128 or 256 controllers per USB port on the motherboard or something like that. And that should be more than enough. And PlayStation 5, I don't know. They might also just use 4 controllers. My parents also never bought me a skateboard. Don't ask how I acquired one. Okay. I don't remember who got me a skateboard, but I had one. But I didn't use it much. Very few games supported the multi-tap and very few supported up to 8. Yeah, it's mostly sports games that would go up to 8. So you play NHL, FIFA, Madden. Where NHL is the only one named after the series you play. FIFA is named after the agency, the organization. And Madden, I don't know what that's named after. And also the Olympic Games, some of them allowed you to use up to 8 controllers. But yeah, it's mostly sports games. Because most of the games you had 1 player per screen, and it only allowed you up to 4 players split screen. I think I only had 1 game that went to 8 players. I wonder if I played any PlayStation games on stream that supports 8 players. But I do want to play through the NHL and the FIFA games. Probably FIFA games first off. Then I might go to like NHL and... Not sure about Madden, probably not my type of sport. I could still do it. That's probably why I will start with FIFA. Is because it would be like a game that... I will play through every FIFA, official FIFA game. There are of course non-official football, like, I mean, it's not like an official football game, but it's official FIFA games. But then you have non-FIFA football games as well. I could play those too. They wouldn't have the correct names of stuff, so you will get, instead of, what's it called, Arsenal FC, it will be Arsenal, because that's a big difference. And it wouldn't be the, it wouldn't be the correct club logo. What do you call it? Club shield, I guess. See, it's called a shield, right? Because that's an interesting thing, and I wanted to bring that up while I'm playing through the games to show that, because I've looked at, because I've played NHL games myself, and I've seen like the club logos, and those are club logos because they, well, logo. You're probably familiar with what those look like, because some of you, and you know what? Let's take a quick diversion here. Why don't I just put that on screen? Let's bring this up as a separate Google search. Yeah, this is, can I get the beginning? There we go. No, apparently not. There we go. That's as big as I can get it. Oh, I still have this active for some reason. Let's. There, boom. So yeah, so these are club logos. They are logos. This is something you could see a company have, I guess. So if I then instead go to change it. No, they've changed it. Oh, I guess that's not a good. Okay, let's change. No, that's not. So, I don't want to. In case something weird shows up, I don't want to put that on stream. There we go. I guess this would be football. I'm waiting for it to load. Wait, where's the? Oh, there we go. Oh, don't I get bigger than that? Okay, there we go. I guess this is big as big as we get it. So, in this case, this would be football in Sweden. The difference you might see here is that most of these, not all of these, but most of these are shields, which would reflect the like if you see like coats of arms in Europe, like there's a lot of shields and stuff. That's part of our culture, and that's also reflected in sports, and I find that quite interesting. And but there are some here that are, there's my cursor, there are some here that are not shields, which would be, this is shield-ish. I guess you could say this is a round shield because it has the decoration. This is not a shield at all, and this is also not a shield, it's a flag. But I guess those would be the non-shields. They have very different shapes of their shields because you want to be more unique. But yeah, there we go. That was the thing. That was that. And I find that interesting. But I did look at the. I mean, I guess I could show that too. Do we have a big picture? This is very big. Oh, where did it go? There, boom. A bit too big, I guess. So this would be the hockey instead in Sweden, and they probably got a lot of influence from NHL in this case, since they have, well, not many shields. You have some, well, this is like a shield inside a circle, but you got two shields here. And the shield here too. But that's about it. And yeah, here's the shield too. But it's also inside the circle. And this is like a broken shield. I guess the shield is supposed to represent a puck, maybe, because this is clearly a puck. This could be a puck. He's black. Oh, this could also be a puck. I wouldn't be surprised if their puck looks like that. So yeah, yeah. So they're not running with shields. Running with shields in sport? That would be crazy. But I want to remember that that's something we could probably see in the games, because the Swedish series, hockey series, will be part of the NHL games, and you will see probably more shields at the start, and then like moving more and more away from it. But some of the clubs do stick to their shields. Since some of the clubs do play in both, like they play multiple sports at the same time, and then they use the same logo for multiple sports. And since football still uses shields traditionally, but hockey does not, it would be, well, yeah, you can't use the same if you want to follow the norm. Don't know how it looks in other sports, haven't looked. Hockey and football are the two big ones. And also I have no idea how it looks in other countries. But first off, yeah, it would be neat to play. But yeah, I wasn't done with also hello never. Hi PP. Of course you like to call me PP. Call of Duty. No, Call of Duty would only allow up to the Call of Duty didn't even allow split screen. Well, they finally allowed, no, if you want to play, yeah, we allowed split screen, but that had to be local split screen, up to 4 players. If you want to play, like, if I want to compare Call of Duty and Halo allowed up to 4 players split screen, regardless of which mode you did, except the campaign. That was max 2 players. And then they added Firefight, I think they called, which was kind of like campaign, also limited to 2 players. But you can play 4 players multiplayer. So with one console you have 4 players, and then you get a second console, you have an additional 4 players, so 8 players. I think they want to limit to 16 players, so you need at least 4 consoles for the max party size. While Call of Duty, you could play 4 players split screen, but if you want to play with multiple consoles, you could only use 1 player per console. They finally added 2 player split screen, but that means that you have that means that you can play 4 players on 1 console, or you can get 2 consoles, and you're still limited to 4 players. And that, and you can't get more players until you get the 3rd console. And the same thing is actually on Mario Kart. They added support for 2-player they allowed you to play more than 1 person on a console, but 4-player local or up to 2 players across more consoles. So again, introducing a second console does not increase the player count. You need to get a 3rd one. Hey now, Call of Duty, Black Ops 6. I should play Call of Duty. I will play Call of Duty for the campaign, not multiplayer. The game I had was a racing game. I think it was the Micro Machines. If it's like top-down racing, where everyone shares the same EU, I could see it supporting 8 players. Because that's basically how sports games works. Everyone shares the same EU, that's why they can do it. Could make a Swedish logo and use 6 spelled sex in Swedish. Yep, in Swedish 6 and sex are the same word. Linguistically not the same word, but they are spelled the same, pronounced the same. But they have different origins, of course. I want to see you play Tomb Raider one day. Oh, Portugal, you also want me to play it? Well, I guess I have to play it then. Do you like Tomb Raider? But I wasn't even done with the controller talk. Because then we have Nintendo. I haven't really followed Nintendo. I guess Xbox is much easier. First Xbox, I don't remember the control limitation on it was. Xbox 360, which I do think did a really neat thing about the controllers, because the 360 is a circle, but the circle was split into 4 segments. Each segment represented a controller position, and therefore it was limited to 4 controllers. But the neat thing about it was when you played 4-player split screen, the part of the circle that was highlighted was the part of the screen you had. Unless you play like 3 players, in that case, if it makes player 1 the big player and player 2 and 3 share the smaller screen below, which some games did, that means the player 2, the player 3, because the circle was like this. This was player 1, this was player 2, this was player 3, and this was player 4. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, very thick. And then if you play split screen in this mode, 1, 2, 3, then you have the disconnect here. It should be like that, but this would be confusing. Halo followed this system and did 4-player split screen this way, which most games do. But if you only play 3 players, depending which player is missing, so if you don't play 4, player 3 will get the big screen. And if you want player 1 to have the big screen, that means you have to connect a player 2nd controller, then 3rd and 4th controller, then remove the 2nd controller, then player 1 will get the big view. A bit silly, maybe. And then Xbox One came, and they increased the controller number to 8. The same iteration where PlayStation lowered it to 4. Kinect only supported 6 controllers, but like for identifying who has which controller. But it has support for 8. But then we have Nintendo. I don't remember exactly everything about Nintendo. NES, SNES both had like 2 controller support or something. But in Nintendo 64 definitely had native out-of-the-box support for 4 players, which it had the benefit of over PlayStation, but PlayStation had support up to 8 in that kind of rivalry. But most games only usually support up to 4 anyway. And then GameCube did the same, out-of-the-box support for 4 controllers. We started using wireless like PlayStation 3 and Xbox, but it still only allowed you to use 4. No, we had support for 4 Wii modes and 4 GameCube controllers at the same time. And a game that supported 8 controllers, not 8 players, but 8 controllers, was Super Smash Bros. Brawl in this case. I think it supported 8 controllers. You could only play 4 players, so you can mix the controllers like however you want. But I'm sure you could connect 4 Wii modes and 4 GameCube controllers, and then use any of them. If someone has tested this and can confirm that this is wrong, please correct me. So it technically had support for 8 controllers, but did any game use that? But then Wii U added the tablet controller, which was a separate controller from the Wiimotes. And it did not have out-of-the-box support for GameCube controllers. So it could only use 5 controllers at most. And the... what do you call it? The included game, Nintendo Land, supported 5 players. But then basically every other Nintendo game only supported 4 players. Mario Kart, which like you could have the 5th player on the tablet and the 4 players on the TV and have 5-player Mario Kart. No support for that. Super Mario 3D World, which is a top-down game, so you could have 5 players on screen at the same time. There are like no support for that. So it had 5 players, but they didn't utilize it. They have used 4 players on the console for so long they couldn't think outside the box, I guess. Unless it's like Nintendo Land, where the 5th player is a different kind of player. I remember that one top-down racing game you played. Oh, the Gene Rally. That one had support for 6 players? I think it was 6 players. They made a sequel to that. It's still in development. I want to play that. I'm terrible at the game, but I just want to play it for fun. Yeah, it's currently €15 for early access. It does have zoomed in view, so you can see it better. Works better for single player, but the screenshot shows 8 cars, so this should support 8 players. I wish it could, but I think the first one only supports 6. I could be wrong. I have the Tomb Raider trilogy remaster that released earlier this year. I've been thinking we should get that. Never had enough controllers to wait on the Wii. Fair enough. Fair enough. But yeah, so Wii U supported 5 controllers out of the box, but didn't utilize it properly to any extent, unless it was like Nintendo Land. But that game also had a bit of an issue as well. It supported, like, it had its party mode, where you can play up to 5 players, and it goes through like these mini games where you score points and stuff. And after playing all those games, you see whoever has the most points is the winner. And because Wii U has support for 5 controllers, the game mode is limited to 5 players. That makes sense. But it doesn't make sense, because if you don't have 4 Wii modes, you can still play 5 players. It's just that some game modes you have 1 on the tablet and 4 Wii modes. Some of these games supports less players than 4 players. Some games you only have like 1 tablet and like 1 Wii mode. Some game modes you take turns and both use the tablet, but one after the other. But it's only 2 players, even though we could do all 5, but whatever. This means that there shouldn't be a limit to 5 players. You should be able to play as 16 players. If you can play 5 players on 2 controllers or 1, I don't even know if you have to use Wii modes. So if you can play 5 players on a single tablet and nothing else, you can play 16 players as well. It would just make the game take longer, but still. That's not... I mean... Yeah, that's the problem with Nintendo. That's not how they want you to play the game, therefore they don't want to let you... They're not going to let you play the game that way. That's their philosophy. Anyway. Been playing like... Yeah. Yep. This is going to look so bad. But I'm trying. And then Switch. Switch is a very interesting case when it comes to controllers. Quote, except that I didn't have the bun on my bum. I don't even remember the context of that. I think I was talking about my panties. Yes. Switch is an interesting case, because when you choose to connect controllers from this in the system's controller configuration menu, I don't know what to call it, controller pairing menu, there we go. You can only connect up to 4 controllers, but the system has support for 8 controllers. But that's a mode, that's a menu that only games can bring up. You cannot bring it up outside of games. You can only bring it up within games, and a game has to explicitly ask for like 5 to 8 players for that menu to show up. It's the same, it just has 4 more control player slots. But the thing is, the Joy-Con pair counts as 2 controllers and will take up 2 slots. If you only have up to 4 players, you can use the Joy-Con pair. If it allows you to have 5 to 8 players, you can no longer use the pair. And the only reason I can think of is because if it says that it supports 5 players and you were to connect 4 Joy-Con pairs, you have now used up 8 slots and can therefore not connect a 5th player, because that would require 9 slots. And I think that's why. I don't see any other reason. Instead of just showing that, well, Joy-Con pair takes up 2 slots. So if you have, if you want to play 5 players, have 4 Pro controller and a Joy-Con pair, which it can support, but because you're not allowed to connect 5, because you can't connect 5 Joy-Con pairs, therefore you're not even allowed to connect 1. It's like, I find it silly when they do things like that. Oh well. I mean, it could be another reason. It's not because it can't support 4 Joy-Con pairs, because it does allow you to do that for 4 players. I think they should just allow from the regular Switch controller pairing menu to allow you to connect up to 8 players, but a Joy-Con pair should show that it takes up 2 slots. But oh, and we didn't get that. One of those weird Nintendo philosophies they have. Okay, I'm making nice progress here. Thank you for the headpats and thumbnails. I'm a mermaid, but ads will play. There we go. So the mermaid will have to wait until I'm back. Well, actually, until the ads are over. Because even if I start drawing, the mermaid will not show up until the ads run out. I do sit on this one piece outfit because it gets too warm to sit with it. I shouldn't wear it, but whatever. But then I need to, remember to zip it up before I leave my shoe. I was about to walk out without doing that. That would be awkward. No one was out there anyways, no one would have seen me. But in case someone was. So I'm back now, so I switch back to the art page, and the mermaid will not show up until the ads are over. Blush, there would be a blushy moment, wouldn't it? Also, didn't I increase the quality? Why does it say the quality is terrible? No, it's good. The quality is not terrible. Good. So, whenever the mermaid outfit shows up, that's when the ads are over. That's a way for you to tell that the ads are over. But yeah, so okay, I'll have to play Tomb Raider then. I mean, like, it's not like I'm prioritizing Portugal over Benny, but considering both Portugal and Benny wants me to play the game, that's different. Now we have two different people. Wait, which people are the same people? I guess different in like they seem to be quite different personality-wise. Some people are similar personality-wise. Like if it, more like if it was Benny and someone else from the Tomb Raider community. Not that Benny is like part of the Tomb Raider community in that sense, but so now the ads are away. The yeah, that wouldn't be the same. But yeah, I should play. I could just play through the PlayStation Tomb Raider games. Unless I should get them on computer. Because they were also for computer. I guess I'll ask Benny. Benny, I wanna watch you play Tomb Raider too. Well, fair enough, then I guess I have to play it then. I guess I have to play it. Got no other choice. I just feel it's not my type of game. It's just that it's like adventure, it's not like a platformer. It's, I guess in some sense, I guess it is. I will see. I have to give it a try. And then I have to play FIFA at some point. I really want to see how like the oldest official FIFA game was like. I would only be able to play up to like the PlayStation 2 era of games. I really wish I had a TV at... Yeah, this is terrible. This is going to look so bad. But oh well. Polygon tits. Wait, which tits are not polygonal if they are polygonal character? But yeah, it was the very first Tomb Raider where the boobs were very pointy. In the second Tomb Raider, which also on PlayStation 1, did not have pointy boobs. They got some polygons to spare. Yeah, they improved it 3D model. It's so much nicer. I wonder how to draw this. One of the myths, which I've actually not seen much of lately, so I guess the myths has died out, which is died out, which is great. The myth is that when it created, unless it wasn't, I think it was Tomb Raider, when it created Lara Croft for Tomb Raider, when they made it the character model, someone put the boob slider at max, and then they thought they liked it and kept it that way. This myth does not make any sense because that's not how a 3D model maker works. It's not a boob slider in a 3D model maker. I've made 3D models and there's no boob slider. I mean, you can create a shape key to adjust the boob size whenever you feel like it. And it could be possible that I did that, but not at that time. I feel like it wasn't really commonplace to do that kind of stuff. So yeah. Not with that idea, they aren't. I mean, if you make it have bones and technically, yeah, but the thing is, on PlayStation 1 it did not have bones because PlayStation 1 games did not run using skeletons. Well, at least not the games I know of. And yeah, and also you can do shape keys, so you can like alter the size of and shapes of stuff until you find something that you like. So it is possible that they had a boob slider, but so the miss could be true, but I just feel like it just doesn't make sense. It's possible that they had a skeleton for the model, which they converted over to vertex animation for the PlayStation. Or they might have used a skeleton on PlayStation 2. But the games typically didn't do that because it was taking too much performance. But yeah, they could have had 3 bones originally. On the original model they used. That's possible, actually. Thankfully, but I do appreciate that. That's fine. So yeah, so the conclusion is inconclusive. It is possible that could be the case, but I feel like they didn't do it that way. I agree, yeah. It's a safe bet to not have a definite answer. Anything else? Any other games I should play? I should play that other game. I don't remember what it's called. I have it on my wish list. I could check my wish list. Did I add it? Yes, I did add Generally to my wish list. Clone Fantasy Reverie series for only $12.50. What is it called? On Your Tail. It's 10% off at the moment. Probably wait until it's more off. Because currently it's 60. Psychonauts 2, I need to get that one, but it currently costs 60. Okay, it was released 2021. Okay, it's not that old. Quite a new game, actually. Fair enough. Does it remove games from your... No, Freedom Planet 14. Baba Is You 12.50. And a game inspired by Scandinavian nature, and I don't know what it is, but I could play it just because it's like taking place in Scandinavia, and they don't have a date. They don't know when they will release it. Also, MC character design happens pretty early on the pipeline. Not that it can't change. Main character. Yeah, main character is of course one of the significant character. Main character, yeah. Significant characters, so that would be something you would design quite early on. Does make sense. Makes sense. I already designed the main character for my Pon Pon video game, which is Pon Pon. Feral Pon Pon, the video game, actually. And you will be able to change what her wear. That's not how you say it. What she wears. I just got this thought about someone claiming like, yeah, you can speak Swedish with very broken grammar and pronunciation and people will still understand you, unlike other languages. How do you know that? How do you know how broken you can speak in another language and still be understood? Anyway, that's a side point. I don't think there's any linguistical scientific proof how broken you can speak in a language to still be understood in that language. Anyway, where was I? Fun. Yes, one of the main, you would be able to change your outfit, would be like upperwear, lowerwear. So upperwear will like shirts and tops and other sports bra. Lowerwear will be like shorts and skirts and stuff. And then socks will also be feature 2. Well, this song is in a language that is related to Finnish, but it's very loosely related to Finnish, so it probably doesn't sound very Finnish. I mean, it's not like English sounds very Swedish, but plus the language in question has a lot of words imported from Slavic and Turkic languages. Well, I assume Finnish doesn't. So the words are very different. But the numbers are related, such as numbers for 2, which in Finnish is kaksi, I think it is. And in Hungarian, which that language was, it's kettő. So that's how closely related they are. Because when it goes to the next number, kolme, which in Hungarian is három. They don't even sound similar. What's 4 in Finnish? I don't remember. Neile? Something like that. Because in Hungarian that's négy, which sounds similar. It's like every other number. Neljä. There we go. I remembered. Woo. Iksi, kaksi, kolme, neljä, viisi, kuusi. And then it goes crazy. Like 7, 8, 9, 10 has like really long words, which I find interesting. Kuusi, pala. Wait, what's pala? Your moon is returning. Wait, what? Kuusi isn't. Is that wrong? Was I 6 is on fire? You're confusing me at the moment. Did I get the numbers wrong? Is that what you're trying to say? Because I could have got, like, I've not studied Finnish, so I could have gotten wrong. That sentence has like 6 different ways of reading it. I see. Yeah, that's funny when you have like sentences that can mean multiple things. Well, Swedish utilizes only Finnish word I know starts with letter P. I wonder if that's perkele. So in Swedish you got like these 2 words. Ren ost, that means clean cheese. And renost, that means, well, cheese from reindeers. Would you like to eat cheese made from reindeers? Cheese made from cow, that would be koost. And that way you have 2 vowels in a row. And they must be pronounced as 2 different vowels. And I'm trying to think like other words. Like there's a list of like words that are similar between Hungarian and Finnish, or like here are the cognates between Hungarian and Finnish, but they're also loosely related and been so much far from each other that they aren't that very different. No, they aren't that similar. I would say they aren't that very similar. Just from the nature of language evolution. I found language interesting, and that's why I get annoyed when there's certain things about language, things people say about languages that are like, my brain just says, no, that's not how it works. And I've talked about them before. And I guess I don't have to talk about them more. Some people might be like, what? Please tell us more. I guess I could summarize it without going into too much detail. Okay, this part is completely hidden. Cheese made from reindeers, like how so? Well, you know, reindeer milk. Isn't that how we make cow cheese from cow milk? And goat cheese from goat milk? So reindeer milk. Okay, if you're curious about the things I have an issue with when it comes to linguistics, or like things people typically talk about, it's the first thing is age of languages, which you can't really define an age of language unless if it's evolved naturally, unless because typically people look at an isolated language and a non-isolated language, and then or like a semi-isolated language. Like you have isolated languages, I guess like Basque. You get semi-isolated languages like Greek and Albanian, and you get non-isolated languages, which is English, German, French, Spanish. I've just made up the term isolated, non-isolated, and semi. Not isolated. I don't think isolated. That's part. But basically, when you don't have any established other languages that has branched off that language, people claim that language to be older. That's not how it works. That language has evolved just as much as English has. And therefore claiming that English is an older language than like a language that recently has branched off, like that's not a fair way to look at it, I think. And also misleading. But now I'm going to details, but whatever. I wasn't supposed to do that. The other point is spelling. People tend to look at like English and then say like Latin spelling is terrible. Latin language based, like Latin script based spelling is terrible. Just look at English. Like you can't. That's not a fair way to look at it. Or similar, like you can't spell this sound using the Latin alphabet. Of course you can. You're the one who defined what the sound should be. Like there was someone who said like this language has this like D sound that is transcribed as DH. Sometimes say H, sometimes say H. But the language also has syllables that ends with D and syllables that starts with H. And they can appear next to each other in a word that is written together. And now we have an ambiguity if it's the letter DH or the D followed by H. Basically English, is it ass hat? Or is it a sh sound? But that's not a limitation of the Latin alphabet. Just pick another like there's plenty of D letters you can pick. You can take D with that line across it. you can take D. Yeah, like like there's line across the stem or the I don't remember what it bowl. No, that's not correct term. You can use a completely different symbol to represent that sound. Or if you want to use a ligature, is it digraph I meant to say. If you want to use a digraph, just don't pick H as the letter. You can pick X. Or you can do like a double D. That works too. Unless is already using that for something else. There's so many options to actually make it work. You don't have to be so strict into a system that doesn't work. Like, yeah, that doesn't work, but that's not how it works. And again, I went into a lot of details there. Now, like, there's been people who have been arguing like English works, or like not English, but Germanic-based languages just works better with the runic script. Like, how does it work better? It wouldn't. There's nothing inherent to the runic script that would make it work better. The runic script was written alphabetic-ish, but if we look at it as an alphabet, and the Latin script is an alphabet, and we can look at the Cyrillic script as also an alphabet. You just write each sound as they come in the order as they come. You define how you write this sound, and you just write the sound in order. None of these scripts is better than the other script. And I'd argue that the standard way of writing the Slavic languages with the Latin script is better than the Cyrillic script. I know people are very, very loud about saying that the Cyrillic script is better for Slavic languages, and I'm coming with my controversial opinions in the reverse. Now it's related to the esh sounds, and yeah, those sounds. Etch. Because the S sound is just written with letter S. The esh sounds would be written with the acute accent of the S. And the esh sound would be written with the what is it called? Hatchek. And then you also have the esh sound. I really can't make they are very similar sounds, which would be written with the dot above it, if I got it correct. I might have mixed those up. I think it's something like that. Also, I might have made the wrong sound too. And they're all written with the letter S, but they have a different sing to it. But that still shows that they are related. While in the Cyrillic script, you have completely different shapes. And sometimes you don't even, like, okay, so you got like, because I know I brought it up. So in Latin script, you have a S, and then you got like esh, and you got like esh, and esh. I can't really make it. But in the Cyrillic script, you got like S, and you got like esh. That's the correct one. No, I think this one is the esh. And I think some use this one for esh. And then for this one, they do like esh, like that or something. And like, sure, we have some kind of consistency here, but here we add in another letter, and this one looks completely different from the rest. But here's the symmetry, and I like that. And the same thing applies to erase. The che, and che. again, not perfect at making the pronunciation differences, which here is Orimin has to correct me. Is that the th letter or is that the ch letter? I'm always mixing this up. And then you got this one. Which, and then I don't remember how you write the other ones. I might have mixed up these two. In that case, this should be the other one. But that still has this after it. But this one is completely different. I think this one also doesn't have one, and they also added like a weird letter after it. Yeah. Yeah, I mixed those up. Wait, why do you write it like that? No, it's... This one is this one in that case. And this one, or this one, depending on which one you use, would be this one. Because these two are related. They look similar. So I guess, but it's not as similar as in Latin. Now you could argue like, but it's not only that. It's that you got more symmetry in the Latin script. Because if it is the, cha, sha, but then here it's like, now I'll double check what you wrote there. That. Like there might be some symmetry between these two, but it's such a, like, not sure this might, but this here is what I'm talking about. Like if this one instead was written like this, I could see some symmetry, but anyway, enough about the script. And that's my opinion for why the Cyrillic script is not that great for... It still works. It works fine. But I think the way the Latin script is written has a slight edge over it. But of course, my opinion. You are free to disagree. One gets seated. But yeah, like, yeah, you just take a symbol, define a sound for it, and just use it and write them in order. No alphabet is better than another. Because, as I showed there, that was just the common way of writing Slavic languages. But you're free to, like, take a Cyrillic letter, put an accent mark over it. You can do that. Some languages do. And you can make it just as symmetry having as you do it in Latin script. And you can pick all kinds of different symbols in the Latin script and make it as different as the Cyrillic script is. Oh yeah. The Russian letter, this one, which makes a yo sound different from this one, yeah sound, and then you got the ya sound, and then you got, what was it more? There's no yi sound, but it's a yo, yeah, yi, you. Well, how was the you written? I don't remember. No, it's written like this, right? You. Yeah. You. Yo. Yeah. I'm drawing in green. This one doesn't have its own symbol. And... yeah, it depends on the language. I think you can use that for that yeah sound. Oh yeah, I guess. This would be Russian and similar languages. For some reason, this one doesn't have it like it's so like it's this one, but makes a completely different sound. But a lot of Russian writers wouldn't apply to speaking. A lot of Russian writers ignores this and writes the yo and yeah, despite doing different sounds with the same letter. Interesting choice. So for animal, yeah. Interesting choice. Uses, not issues. Yeah, uses. Could be, and yeah. But in that case, I feel like... No, God. If this is ah, then this would be ya, instead of using this one. If this is I and this is yi, then... How did you write it? That is u. So this would be you. Anyway, whatever. Consistency. That's a problem with languages. The lack of consistency. I don't have a problem with consistency. I just have a problem with when people say things that are incorrect. Oh, I need to enable that. No, wait. This isn't the correct outfit. What do you mean? White cat showed up and then you're like, I'm not really sure. Before you can do something, I'm very upset. Give me your clothes. Well, I guess Remian handed your clothes. Why are you upset? What are standards? Can you eat them? Maybe. Depending on what kind of standard it is. Some standards you probably can eat. Because in the EU, you have some recipes that are protected. In the sense, like, you cannot call something unless it's that thing. And I would say that would be a standard, right? And you can eat that. So the Swedish falukorv, which I like, is a type of sausage I like. That one is protected. So you cannot do a Swedish falukorv unless you actually follow the correct recipe. It has some, like, you have to be within a certain range. So this is not super exact. It wouldn't work otherwise. But yeah. And you can eat that. Well, I guess you don't eat it standard though. I put food in the microwave and it fell off the plate. Wait, how did it fall off? And ruined and left a really strong burn smell in the kitchen that I'm now choking over. Wait, what? How? I'm confused. I'm sorry, I don't understand. I'm sorry that happened. Because that's sad that it happened, but I'm like confused how it happened. Or like, I can't picture it happening because all I'm picturing is like a plate with food on it. And then, I don't know. What are these lines? But that is very sad. I'm confused too. I mean, like you saw the aftermath, like what kind of food was it? Let's start there. That's a good start. Ponpon is going to get to the bottom of this. Let's start with what kind of food it was. Because it was like a meatballs, potato, mush. What do you call that? Mashed potatoes. I don't really see how that like falls that way. I don't know how it came off the plate. Did it like slipped off the plate? That sounds crazy. Yeah, that sounds confusing. Yeah, that's bad. That's terrible. Yeah. Sad that you had to experience that. We shall blame the plate. I don't know. I think I got everything. I guess I can fill that part too. Because some of these Ponpon is just going to cover up. I guess not here. So I guess I have to draw an extra line here. And a couple of microwave burger things that were close to date. Oh, a burger. Yeah, that makes sense. Now I can think of it. Yeah, it's like a burger, and then the burger like fell, because I've had that happen to me, like a burger falling apart. Yeah, that's unfortunate. But how did like? But then I'm confused about the burning part. Did you run it for too long? I'm not trying to blame you or anything, but I hope you found and had more burgers to eat. I bought McDonald's now because oh, you didn't have anything. Well, I go to another burger then. I need fucking food, and the food I was doing died. Yeah, that's sad. Quantum tunneling. That is very sad. I was talking about Max Burgers before. Because someone, who was it? Someone tried to do a rhyme that completely failed. Not Max Burger, that was Burger King. Max Burgers is a thing in Sweden. But that was Burger King, yeah. I haven't had, actually had McDonald's for not too long ago. Someone bought it and I ate it. But it was actually quite a while ago. I think it was like the end of summer or something. I don't buy it on my own. It's not like, it doesn't taste healthy. It's certainly healthier than some other places. like they at least have to achieve certain food quality standards, and food quality standards are just good, I hope. but I've had it and then kind of like I don't feel good after eating it. not mentally, but like physically, like still tastes nice. And I kind of want some now, but I'll stay away. I'd rather go and eat at Max or Burger King. They don't give me the same feelings. I think Max is the one I've had the like best quality at. Max Burger. Too long. It's just lodged up against the wall of the microwave burning. Oh, I see. I will offer you one nugget. Do not have to offer me anything. You better have it. But I see now. Now everything makes sense. So yeah, so it's like fell off the plate, the whole plate of the microwave plate that's supposed to keep the food spinning so it doesn't burn, and then just got stuck. Basically got stuck and then burnt. That makes sense. I can now picture it. because I haven't never microwaved a burger. Well, I have, like a leftover McDonald's, but that was a long time ago. I mostly made burgers and then ate them directly. I want to make burgers again. What do you mean? We need to make burgers. I want some burgers. I made meatballs for breakfast. Swedish breakfast. Polish. Oh no. Oh no. We can have some Swedish meatballs, which are known as meatballs in Sweden. Well, they're actually known as köttbullar, which means like meat buns, even though they don't look like I guess. Like bun in English is a very wide term. In Swedish, bulle is more like a baked good-ish. Bulle is mostly used for rolls, sweet rolls. Is that what you call them? So meat sweet rolls, except the sweet part. Meat rolls. But they are like round. And people are like, what? You don't call them Swedish meatballs in Sweden? Obviously not, because we're in Sweden. It's just meatballs. Obviously. I guess it wasn't that obvious. But now you know. Same thing with the Swedish fish. I've heard many people talk about. Nothing I've seen, but I've seen something similar because there's a thing called pastellfisk, or pastellfiskar if you want plural, which is the pastel fish. So that's what you have in Sweden. By Malaco, I think. And it says Malaco on them. And they are very colorful in all different kinds of color. Why are you not filling that part? Why is this not filling? Oh, because I'm painting the wrong thing. That's why I'm not painting the correct layer. I'm a bit silly. Good thing it's easy to correct this. Okay, so that. This is the layer I'm supposed to paint on. And now it's filled. Because I've watched so many pictures now, looked at so many pictures now. Let's look up pastellfiskar. Cloetta. Wait, who is making this? Malaco. Is Malaco owned by Cloetta? Quick diversion. Well, I guess we can do that on stream too. Let me bring this up first. Here we go. Here's a... Okay, let's... I've confirmed that everything is safe to look at. So let's bring it up on screen. I'm getting hungry again. But for fish, I wish it was bigger. It just shrinks. There. Pastellfisk. Not sure why they wrote it in singular. I guess it's more not. It's uncountable now in this the usage here, like how we would say, I don't know, meat. If we had a container of bread, you wouldn't have like a container of breads. But each individual would be a pastellfisk, and then these are pastellfiskar. But I guess this container is of pastellfisk in the mass noun. That's what you call it, mass noun. But yeah, if you look closer at them, they say Malaco. There they are, and they are colorful come? What colors did they come in? I guess they come in red, green, and here we go. Yellow, orange, red, green. Get my hand pon. But yeah, guess that's the colors they come in. Everyone said, thing is with Malaco. Are they owned by Cloetta? Yeah, it's owned by Cloetta. Cloetta AB. Does this Cloetta is a Swedish confectionery and nut company. The company manufactures and sells local confectionery brands on its main markets: Sweden, Finland, Norway, Denmark, Netherlands, Germany, and the UK. Ta-da! You wanna go there and go to Sweden? Oh, so Fazer. This is a Finnish one. Are they owned by... or are they their own? Because they merged with Cloetta, that's why they were mentioned. But I guess they split. Yeah. They merged 2000, split 2008. It wasn't long. And now they are separate companies. Fazer makes good chocolate. It's expensive. But I like it. I mean, they both do good stuff. It's just that it's not good to eat a bunch of sweets. Now I want a bunch of sweets. Now I looked at a bunch of sweets. Now I want them. I should buy some and post it on the server, I guess. Some Swedish sweets. Swedish sweets. Having some Swedish sweets on the Swedish meetup at one point. Wait, I should select this. I select that too. Because this would allow me to paint the shadow quicker. Which is also a technique used by artists. Oh. Well, I do need to paint here too, but... it's just in these pointy parts where it's... can't use the big brush. I'll go with that later. Like that. I'm also hungry because I haven't eaten since lunch. And lunch was 7 hours ago. Oh, my food must be done. I completely forgot about that. Isn't that 8 since 9 minutes? Okay, good. Then we'll see if there's food to pick up. That explains why I'm hungry. Let's see. You get burgers, but pawn is a snack. Burgers, yes. You get burgers, but pawn is a snack. Orimian is lucky to get such a snack as Pon. All sweet. Let's see. I know a good way to make burgers. I'm interested to see what ways you, because I have made my way. I didn't look up anything, I just bought some burger buns and some burger patties, and then I just made it. And that was that. Oh, Swedish fish. Yes, Swedish fish, or pastel fish as it's called. I really liked the boy band Warframe created for the new content. What? I'm not sure what you're trying to say. I'm confused. I'm often confused. But that's okay. And that's also a thing, like, speaking of burger and burger patties. Because obviously, as a person who has gone to the store and bought burger patties, we all know that the buns, it depends here, I've bought them in multiple European countries. In multiple, I mean 2. The buns come in a pack of 6 and the patties come in a pack of 10. And obviously 10 and 6 aren't visible by each other. But the thing, like people, yes, I'm painting the right side. The thing people say, like, yeah, this is just pure capitalism, that they obviously don't want to match up, so you have to waste of one or the other. Not that food is a waste, but but like, the thing I don't get though is, but the company making the buns and the company making the patties are separate companies. And there are multiple companies making buns and multiple companies making patties. So if companies keep making buns in packs of 6, why wouldn't at least one of the patty producing companies make a pack of 12? Because that is divisible. If this is like, they would, like, from a capitalist point of view, that's for their benefits, because now they have a selling point. They have a pack that aligns with the buns. And the same thing goes for hot dogs and hot dog buns too. There are different companies making those things. Make them align, like, be the company that makes them align. You have a reason why people should buy your product. But they don't. And I find that kind of weird. Because the capitalist argument doesn't apply, because capitalism says that they should make them align. But then there are also, I've also found a company that makes buns in pack of 2. It's just more expensive, but at least you can, like, that wasn't too much expensive, but at least that goes, like 5 of those goes. But what I did was I bought 3 packs of patties and 5 packs of buns. I think that works out. Yeah, 5 times 6 is 30. 3 times 10 is 30 as well. So that goes evenly out. Except that didn't work out anyway, because the patties were not... Some of them had 11 in them. So... So I ended up with extra patties anyway. That one, like, it wasn't like I got extra patties for free or something. Like, I purchased the because I assume they weigh them, and some patties just ends up smaller. Shit happens, they land slightly below the limit, and they need to add another patty just to get above the required limit as they have printed on the package. And it just ends up 11, but the mass is what you actually purchase. Anything else interesting? Yeah, shadow will be like at the very bottom in that case. Yeah, I guess I'll have to. As we'll play in 3 minutes, I should probably take a break now and check on the status of food. So, and this time I will put this outfit on properly before I leave the room. So, and also if someone redeems an outfit, you will see when ads are over, because that's when the outfit comes back on. Sometimes it's balancing the cost with the number of patties. 4 patties for 10 looks better than 6 for 15. I don't know. I also use the standards, it's confused me. I don't know if that, I mean, I would... I don't know. Probably because I don't think in the same patterns as... I'm thinking very differently from a lot of people. It might not apply to me. Anyway, let's take a quick break. I'll pick up some food if there is. Okay. Food is getting a bit late today. Now let's see if I didn't miss anything. Oremion on the attack, yeah. On the attack to gather 1 million bunnies with swords. I thought I pressed start ads. Apparently ads started now. Weird. It has already over, only got 14. No, apparently it didn't register that I pressed to play ads. Anyway, 3 minutes of ads now. More bunnies. Let's get a few more in. It's 35 really the most. How would I measure this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I count them in 5s then. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Yeah, 35 is max. Let me get a few more in. Yeah, you got 1 minute and 40 seconds left. In some ways I miss living alone, but I couldn't live alone, so I mean I was living in misery, but being able to, again, not this time I wouldn't live alone, but living with special someone and being able to, well, not live with my parents and also live with someone that means a lot to me. It's going to feel like I'm not like happy with life. Like I'm not might not sound like I'm really cheerful or anything like that, but it's because I'm really not living in the best situation. But with that, it's really going to change my. I'm already happy to know that the possibility of it. It's just that I don't have any. Like, it's not proven that it will happen. So I will not change my emotion will not change until it actually happening. So now that's early. I'll head off. Have a good stream, Pun. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate that you're also subscribed. That does mean a lot to me that you're willing to do that. 120 total. Ooh. You're going to have such a large number after this stream. Last time you reached, but basically every 10,000 is 1%. And the goal is, of course, to reach 1 million, which is 110,000. This was Sweden's contribution to Eurovision one year. I'm still curious if I'm allowed to like live stream Eurovision. I should contact them and ask them. Not that, like, I rather like watch it with people rather than having like live stream. Watch it with people physically. It's just that the idea would be funny to live stream it. I mean, I could like live stream a replay of it. Since of course there's like music and stuff in it, but that's like it's like public music, I guess. It's free for almost everyone to just no, I think it's no, I don't know exactly. It's free for everyone to go listen to the songs whenever they want. Without any form of limitations. Now, I want Ponpon's parts, which sounds kind of naughty, to actually be behind. So this will actually be a foreground, not a background. They do play it on their website for free. I'll watch it with you that way. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see how it is next year. But exactly, it's on their website for free, no ads. So it's not like they're missing out on ad money or anything like that either, because it's publicly funded. So and a lot of people watch it, so it's, I mean, it's worth it. I mean, although you can also argue like because it's public funded, people are taking like, because I mean they're yeah. But if people didn't watch it, I mean, it's also funded through other means as well, but And some countries play ads during Eurovision, not during the songs though. They aren't allowed to do that. But some countries play ads between every song. It can't be fun watching on one of those channels. And some countries play ads during the in between things. They have a break where they play, like, do other stuff, other musical numbers, other but yeah, I still meant to ask you if you play those. Yeah, I'm not going to do it because I'd rather watch it live with other people rather than. It's not that I don't like you people. No, but rather than just sitting alone here playing it on stream. Well, people will be in chat, of course. Obviously, I wouldn't stream it if you're at the event in person. Yeah, I'm not going to be there. That's not what I meant. I meant like watching it with people I know here. People I know in person. Yeah, you know I'd attend such a stream. But yeah, but I don't want. No, whatever. Whatever. I think there's a miscommunication going on. It's okay. I'm gonna DM you on Discord the boy band Warframe created so I can show you what I mean. Okay. Thank you. And I will have a look. Now I guess. Warframe Online. The Great Despair. I don't even get it. I don't get what the thing is. Okay, let's see now. I will cut out this part. Yes. Then this will go here. There. Okay. I think this is everything. So let's do the correct shading. This is good, right? Are we happy with this? I feel I'm happy with this. I am, however, very hungry, so I'll probably, because I have one more to do. Let me save, export this. This will be the very creative name, Ponpon Skateboarding C. That's how I'm naming them. Then after this one, I just have this one left to do. I'm happy with Pon Pon. I'm glad you are. I'm happy that you're happy with me. I'm trying to be as entertaining as I can be. Even though I share my strange, weird opinion. Controversial opinions. I guess I'm starting to color in this one anyway. Wait, I need to enable this thing. There we go. Pon Pon is not. No! Not again! Now you're extra happy with Pon Pon, aren't you? Maybe Pon Pon is not so not super happy with you now. Why do you do these? I thought you were. I thought you changed. I thought you had changed. But apparently not. We already have Pon Pon in underwear on screen. We don't need more Pon Pon in underwear on screen. There we go, my dress is back. Maybe add some stars flying up from the impact on the ground. Well, if it's like, it's not a bad idea, but that would imply the impact just happened, which I guess it did. Not a bad idea. I'm not sure how I'll do that. I guess I'm doing this drawing anyway. At least I can start on it. But I'll do the background next time. I'm not going to do the background this time. And then I started working on the background as well. Dreaming is planned by more high-speed inherited. They always forget to catch up with McDonald's. It's the same money. Well, I guess I don't have any. The only issues I've had is like they don't fill up to the fill line. It doesn't happen often. Rarely happens. One time I got some hot chocolate, which actually is oh boy in Sweden, by the way. I wonder what's the other, but you have to mix it yourself in water. But they only go like half a cup of water. Like, no, give me the full amount. Could you just give me half a cup? That would also make it very strong. And they were like, yeah, what, like, does it matter and stuff, and try to talk me out. And I was like, how much does it cost them to just give me some more water? I mean, sure, it was hot water, but still. Still, because it was hot chocolate. But still. But otherwise, it's been fine. Is it this thing still active? Guess it is. Yeah, so... And one time, this is a long time, I haven't been at McDonald's in a long time. Another time I ordered a muffin, and then like, oh, all the muffins are out of date. Well, I guess you can have one for free then, if you want. Well, yeah, why not? Like, they were just out of date. And they're like, don't sue us though. And obviously not, I got it for free. Welcome, Eliad or Iliad. I can't remember, but thank you so much for raiding in. I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me. What are you up to? Terraria. So, well, since that is like a sandbox game, the timeless raid. Your raids are timeless. At 1936. Anyway, so what happened? What did you do? What did you do? What did you do in the game? Try to get achievements in Terraria. Ooh, how many? Any progress on that? What's your goal? All of them, maybe. I don't know what the achievements are like, so I don't know how hard it is. But I hope it went well. It's kind of RPG thing. Oh yeah, I guess it actually is. Has like RPG elements to it. Because I'm not playing it, so shows how much I know. So yeah. I got 2 today. Ooh, how many do you have left? 536. Well, you're on your way. So... Since it's about a perspective, but 2 is still good. 115 left. Because yeah, we're going to say that last like perspective is like 5 left, and that's good. 115 left. It's still good. It's still good, but well, as long as you have fun, that's much more important. I assume you do it because it's fun. And more achievements means more opportunity to have fun. And that's the way we look at it. And we want to have fun. And I have like half at most. Well, that's a good progress. Nicely done. Have I shaded this correctly? I don't know if I'm shading things correctly. I'm still experimenting with shading. This song is about a guy who wants to give up on his girlfriend, or is willing to give up his girlfriend if that comes to be the case, for his love of football. It's just a silly song. Don't take it too serious. I will not give up on my partner for some silly sport. I don't even watch football. However, I'm still planning on playing it on stream though. Anyway, throat is dying. I gotta go. That's fair. I hope your throat isn't dying too much. I appreciate you reading in, and I hope you have a rest of your day. Good. Whatever is remaining of the day. I mean, it's late. It's getting late. Is what I meant. So rest of your day and a good sleep when the time comes. After all, Iliad would have good idea of what time it is and when it's time to sleep and how long she's been sleeping for. Being a Time Lord and everything. I don't know if Time Lord is the correct term here. I actually don't know what she calls herself. Let's see. I mean, I guess the Clock Master, so Clock Master, I guess that is the term. I guess it was right in front of my eyes this whole time. And this song is a bit of a heavy song. Singing about an apocalypse. But yeah, considering the genre of this music, having singing about death, apocalypse, being a dog that is willing to defend his master at all costs, which is a neat song, as well as his partner, who probably girlfriend, who has how do you call broken up with him and then wants to get back together with him, and he's like, I don't want to deal with you anymore, just go away. Which is quite a heavy subject. Well, I mean, it's so singing about apocalypse is like, there would be a heavy thing if it happened in real life, but it's not really the same as having to have someone he has loved leave him, and he has the opportunity to get back with the person, but he chooses not to. And as someone who has experienced that, it is very hard. It is very hard. Anyway, I'll be feeling better shortly. Yeah, I wish you the best, Iliad. Or Eliad, I don't know. I thought it was Eliad. But I guess time will tell. Okay, sorry for the stupid joke. Yeah, it's been fun the time I've been able to watch those streams. Funny things go on there. I just not have the time to watch as many streams as I would like to. But oh well, such is life. But with panties on, I got an emote like that too. Feral Pump, yeah, but that's like, as I said, I wanted not to spoil too much about the game, about the Feral Pump game, but I've said that I want Feral Pump the different abilities, and I want one of the abilities to be Feral Pump swinging a sword. But I don't have it yet. Well, you're on your way though. One day you will have it. Also, I'd put shadow this time, this side, but it should also be shadow on this. Maybe I shouldn't have shadow here. Let me rethink this. Because this is the upper side. It's getting warm again. Time to undress. Well, I have done a stream in only my... Well, I guess I'm half dressed now because my bottom is covered. But my top is on. Well, I am wearing a bra at least. Oh, Ponpon is talking about her underwear on stream again. I don't know how we do the shadows here. I have shadows on both sides now. Which can still work. Right. Should like that. And then Orimian should play a challenge run in that Ponpon game by only using his sword for everything. Then I have to make it so you can actually use the sword for all of everything. But some things might be really hard to solve with just the sword. Only use a sword easy. Well, I mean, well, I guess you have to play the game to see what it is like. I don't know what it would be like. I've set ideas, but I just need to put those ideas together and actually make the game. But I want to make another game first to get a better grip of the engine and stuff. A smaller game. Would be a lot of shading here. Whoa! Hey, Mushi! Hello, Mushi. Thank you so much for reading in. You're playing table... wait. I was saying it's tabletop. No, it's trading card game. Card shop simulator. Yes, it's a card shop simulator. The card shop for trading card games. There we go. That put it together. I hope you had fun. I only do that IRL. Door locked, no key, use a sword. I mean, yeah, of course, that's a solution. Oven doesn't work and you don't have tools, use a sword. That sounds a bit trickier, but I guess you find a way to do that. Hi, Fun. Hello, Mishi. It's very nice of you. Mishi's a very cute cat. The most adorable cat. I've not seen a more adorable cat. Well, she's a cat girl, but still counts. Is this raid number 3 or 4? I don't know. I don't count them. Interesting. Okay, I haven't done the other artworks. Maybe I should show them. So, this is the first artwork. Pon is ready to skate. Then she does her trick. And then she does this trick. And then she crashes. So, yeah, that's the story. An epic story with an epic conclusion. Well, I thank you for thinking my art is interesting. I need to draw more Pon. And at some point I also need to fix that raining card thing, since I did draw a card of Musi. I just have to render the animations and I can make them actually happen. Just not spend the time to actually do that. Huh. Oh yeah, it's this part. There we go. It is cute, but some interesting scenes. Pon's drawing panty shots. Well, I've seen some. Yeah, I've seen like people like saying like, Pon, you're way too naughty. You can't be doing this, and but compared to what they do, like. I don't feel like I feel like my stuff is tame compared to some other people who are some of those who say that my stuff is naughty stuff. But anyway, just some underwear. That's not a problem, is it? Oh, it's French. Why the French speaking here before? Blush. Pon would blush. If you listen to this song enough, you will start understanding what he's singing. It's like magic. You'll get it when it gets there. Well, yeah, that was a silly joke. I hope you understand what's saying. No, sorry, I didn't understand that part. What did you say? There we go, and then this part should also be shaded. So it's like I should use a different, oops, different color here, considering is this skateboard is very pink for obvious reasons. And yeah, the interesting art on the skateboard too. I kind of forgot about it. Alright, I did actually draw that on the skateboard. I need to figure out where shading goes, but I'm getting the hang of this. Probably make some weird decision when someone's like, "Why would you shade it like that?" I don't know. It just feels right. Am I even drawing the shadows the correct way? Probably good enough. I don't think we have to be too picky about where the shading will go. No, this part. Oh. There. Well, this whole part will be shaded, so... There. And then I guess you would have the shading like that. Boom. I think it will be shaded up. I haven't added that on the other ones, so I'll skip that for this one. Yes, it would be here too. So, but I don't know how else it would be shaded here. I guess it would be shaded like that. Yeah. And then to apply the filters. Oh yeah, I think I forgot to do that on this one. All right. I need both of these. But yeah. My title is just art bikini. Well, I guess I could try to plan out a background. Could have said I wasn't going to complete this time. It almost looks like I'm doing it anyway. Do I really need any detail? Like, what should she be crashed against? Because I can just have a wall like this. And then this side is brown. Although in that case she would be much more in shade. On this. And the other side is green. I guess this one will be closer. Fireworks. At this time of the year. It's not New Year yet. My job, okay, let's see. My job last night was to just stand next to one belt and make sure it keeps running. Just stand in one place and moving washing boxes go by for 4 hours. I'll take it. I mean, as long as I get good pay too, of course. I mean, yeah, it sounds boring, but like, income is income in my situation. And if I get really good pay for it, then I'll take it. The boss said if I get bored, I can take a stick and push some boxes onto another belt. That doesn't sound good. Well, sounds fun. Yeah, it would be like something. Just adding the shadow here would probably help make Batman look like the background is simple, but maybe the shadow will have it look more interesting. Bikini ran out. I was thinking we did Tamer Epstein. Reason they put me there is I'm the only person who will stand there and actually watch the belt instead of looking at my phone. Oh, I see. I mean, if I get enough pay, I will also do it without looking at my phone. You are good doing your job. But yeah. Now she thinks about she wants to touch someone. Doesn't. Oh, she's. She's upset that that's the partner in question started dating someone else, I guess. It's the most important belt in the operation. That one stops, the entire operation stops. Okay, that sounds very important. Good thing you are responsible and would actually keep an eye on it. That's why you should make a deal like, okay, clearly this job is very important to the company, and they actually needs, and everyone else clearly refuses to keep an eye on it without looking at the phone, which means they're not keeping an eye on it. So and since you're the only one qualified to do it, where's the bonus pay? Because after all, as at like a certain sum of money should be able to make you willing to do it. I mean, you already told that you're doing it, so. But I mean, like making anyone willing to do it. Which is kind of what I've said. Like, I wouldn't. There are certain things I won't do unless you actually would give me enough money to actually do it. And if someone questions why I did it, I would just say, well, I got this much money. I mean, I only did it because I was going to get money. Well, we'll take money first, though. Well, the problem is there's no guarantee of keeping the money. It really depends on what it is and how it is provided, and so on. There's a simple background, but, you know, I think it's fine. I'm still not sure. Like, if you had an idea of adding stars, I'm not against the idea, but I'm not really sure how to add that. I think it's fine enough. It's simple, but it's because I'm getting bored of working on this start. I want to move on to something else. I hope that's understandable. There we go. I've now been going for 6 hours. And that's what should play, so it might be a good opportunity for me to, you know, end stream before the ad break starts. I was thinking. It's probably why I'm good at cooking. If I'm cooking something on the stove and it takes an hour to cook, I'll stay at the stove the entire hour. But aren't you? I mean, like, aren't you looking at your phone at all? Like, you know, write me a message. Because I mean, you can still like have an eye on stuff, even if you're on your phone. But for now, this looks beautiful. Oops, didn't mean to respond to that. That's fine. Yeah, I assume meant the drawing I was working on. I meant the art looks beautiful. Thank you, Moody. I will be posting the drawings on the server. Oh, I thought you were referring to the sword bunny wall a few lines up. It's beautiful. Sword bunnies. Well, I'm happy you are here, Moody Tail. I was curious when you were going to show up on the stream because I saw you wrote a bunch of messages. But I'm actually going to end stream now because I've been going for 6 hours. Isn't that crazy? Should we go and visit someone cute? We could go visit Teo, who is doing art at the moment. Emotes, more specifically. I think that sounds like a lovely idea. Or dressed up Christmassy as well. Teo the goat, VT. Teo is the goat. Yeah, let's see. If you scroll up the chat window, yeah, there's a bunch of them. Rabbit Stampede. So many sword bunnies. Yep, the goal is to reach 1 million of them. Yes, but what do you mean? You're supposed to use the swordy bunnies, not the bouncy bunnies. You're not allowed to use the bouncy bunnies. Because even the usage outside the stream counts, because it's your global usage. I mean, sure, if I'm only counting the ones used on my stream because those are the only ones I can actually count. So whatever you use outside doesn't really matter. But you know, if you do end up with like, you're not going to end up like at 999,000. But you know, just for the sake of it. Maybe you want the sword bunnies to be the most used emotes outside of my stream. Currently, I think it's the bounce one. Dancing dino. Who is blinking with the nostrils. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Yes, there we go. Now we can do bouncy pon pon. Yes, rabbit stampede emo. Raid message. And yeah, I'll chat with you, Moody, after stream.